Is God really silent, or are we drowning him out? Because this is what I learned after listening to secular music again after 10 months of blocking it out. So, you know how secular music plays in your head all day? Your favorite song, or a tune that just came on the radio. It sticks in your head, doesn't it? In your quiet moments, that's what you hear. Aside from your own thoughts, of course. But that's what we fill our minds with. Like it or not, secular music has an effect on you. It takes up not only your attention when you're listening to it, but your attention when you're not even listening to it. And as Christians, we are called to set our minds on the things above. So yes, we can listen to secular music, and we can, as much as possible, distance ourselves from it. But there is no doubt that no matter how much we try to, even if we listen to a song once, it'll probably stay in our head for a while, and we'd be meditating on it and its contents. But I already hear what you're gonna say. Secular music isn't that deep. It's just art. Why can't we just appreciate art? Well, my best friend Zoe says this, and it's such an interesting point too, because I've never thought about it that way. But how do we interact with art? We look at it once, we deep dive into it, we appreciate it, and we understand what it's for. But we probably don't look at it again and again and again and meditate on it the entire day. Because let's be real, I can appreciate the artistry of secular artists. I see their creativity, I see the vision, I see their message. And to an extent, I do appreciate it. I mean, that's exactly why we love secular music so much anyway. We love the creativity behind it, and we love the message, and we connect with the message. But that's the thing. If we connect with, for example, a negative message, and we meditate on it all the time, and consume this music all the time, then there's no escaping that message. And honestly, I was kidding myself into thinking that listening to secular music about heartbreak was healing my heart. Well, before I knew it, 4 years later, I was still dwelling on the issue. And honestly, that was 4 years too long, because the situation had only lasted 1 year. So why am I prolonging my suffering? How is this happening? Remember how I said music kind of latches onto you? I think that's what happens. And you know how you memorize the lyrics to your favorite song, and it becomes like second nature to you. So you replay it in your mind, even when you aren't playing it in real life. That's you meditating on what the message has to say. And for me, because my main coping mechanism was music, and only coming to Jesus sometimes, or having him as my secondary comfort instead of my primary one, it was really destructive to me looking back, because I know just how much time I could have spent dwelling on Jesus and his healing for me, rather than trying to find healing myself in music that would only perpetuate my negative view of other people and my negative view of the situations that happened to me. I would grow a resentment for my circumstances when I should have just grown in my journey with Jesus. Because this is what we have to remind ourselves. God has a still, quiet voice, which makes it so important for us to be in the stillness and the quiet, and to make room for that in our lives. Because if all we consume is secular music, that is all we'll be dwelling on. And if you don't believe me, you don't have to take my word for it. You can try it yourself. Because after I cut off secular music for 10 months and decided, hey, why not let's listen to it again? I realized this. Secular music blocks off God's voice. It made me not hear what he has to say anymore. When I cut off secular music, I felt like I could finally hear him and what he has to say about me and what he wants for my life. Hearing him talk through the worship songs that I replaced my secular music with really helped me deepen my relationship with God and truly establish the fact that I'm giving my entire life to him, not just a portion of my day when I want to listen to worship music. Only sometimes, because secular music is just too addictive. Don't you see that secular music has become an idol in our lives? It's something we believe that we can't live without. And this is my own personal definition of what an idol can be. It's something you think you can't live without. Because really, the only thing we can't live without is God. So you're putting this thing in the position of God, thinking that it's essential for your survival and your life. But no, God is the only one who gives life. He is the life giver. So I pray that we finally realize this, that God speaks through the silence. And to make that room for silence, we need to cut off secular music that plays in our heads all day and gives us negative messaging and subconsciously brings us further from God. Now you're probably gonna ask me, what about secular music that is more positive? Now to that I say, I'm quite okay with it. This is something you have to ask God for. But for me personally, I think even with secular music with positive themes shouldn't be consumed more than the worship songs we're listening to. Because a lot of the positive music that is in the secular realm doesn't at all focus on God. And what are we called to do again? Set our minds on the things above. And hey, I know we all have very different convictions. Maybe God is telling you to cut off secular music, maybe he's not. But for me personally, because of how much cutting off secular music has changed my relationship with God, how much it's transformed it and made me so much closer to him, I really endorse this. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. You can try it yourself. You can try cutting off your secular music for a week and see how God speaks next to you. More likely than not, you will hear him louder than ever. And again, with my experience, I was really struggling with my heartbreak when I still was listening to secular music. Isn't it such a coincidence that once I cut it off, I was completely fine and finally moved on from that situation? It really is one, huh? But yeah, I'm just trying to tell you this, that cutting off secular music really brings your relationship with God to a whole new level, because you won't be interacting with those voices anymore. Those voices that tell you to seek revenge on other people for what they did to you, or you dwelling in your loneliness, building resentment for other people, or focusing on that situation that deeply hurt you. You don't have to let these voices in anymore. And again, I know that maybe you're just appreciating this artist for what they're creating. And maybe you just really love their artistry. You love their vocals, you love their production, you love the person's story. So I know it's so hard to cut off secular music by yourself. And that's exactly why I started this video series on my channel where I find you worship music that you actually enjoy. Because if you dive headfirst into cutting off secular music, it will probably give you whiplash because of just how long you have appreciated these secular artists before. So now with this video series that I'm doing for as long as possible, I'm giving you Christian artists who sound like your favorite secular artists. So your transition from secular music to worship music will be a lot smoother. And this isn't a one-woman show because you guys are so helpful in giving me Christian artist recommendations as well as giving each other Christian artist recommendations. I'm so proud of this community that we've built. So y'all know what time it is. It's time to read the comment of the week. I choose a comment every week for my last video because number one, I read every single one of your comments, and also I get so touched by a lot of them, and that's why I wanted to highlight my favorites. I also cannot do any of this without you guys, and this is my way of showing my appreciation to you. So from my last video, 𝐻𝐻𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐻 says, Jessiah, I really just want to thank you. It's been so hard for me to transition into secular music to Christian music. I feel like some secular songs are okay, but most definitely aren't. And I listened to worship songs for a long time, but found myself getting tired of them, even though they are really good songs. And your videos have helped me with so much more Christian music that I can listen to when I feel in the mood for those upbeat, simple pop songs, and have great messages, and they have definitely helped me so much. I stumbled across your channel on the first music video, and you've been a blessing to me ever since. I thank God because he's using you to help so many people needing Christian music to listen to, and you've been amazing. Thank you, Jessiah. God bless. Jesus is good all the time. Amen. Amen indeed. Thank you so much, 𝐻𝐻𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 that my recommendations have been helping you. I pray that I continue to bless you and every single one of my viewers with Christian music that you love. Just a reminder that you are not alone in this because we're on this journey together. Now, let's get back into the video. It's so hard to cut off secular music, so I'm creating playlists to help you transition out of it, so you don't have to miss your secular music artists anymore. And I'm doing this because I know I would have loved it if someone did that for me when I was starting to cut off secular music. Because as much as mainstream worship songs are so good, sometimes they can all sound the same. And for the reason we loved our secular music artists, because of their artistry, we want range. And so I'm giving that to you. But anyway, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, that secular music really blocks off God's voice and really disrupts our healing journey. And once again, you don't have to take my word for it. You can really try this yourself, and I promise you, you'll probably end up with the same conclusion as me. But anyway, let's continue listening with discernment and committing our whole lives to the Lord. Not just a fraction of it, not just Sunday. Let's meditate on the things above rather than earthly things. I'm so glad that we're on this journey together. And if you need further reminders to set your minds on the things above, please check out these posters that I created for you guys. Some of them are hand-drawn by me, and I've had this dream for a very long time. Creating you posters that are true reminders of God's love for you. You could say it's God's love letter to you. You can check them out with the link here and here. Now, I will see you guys next week for the next episode of my video series. Until next time, God bless.